What's up, everyone? I'm your host, Dom, and welcome to another episode of Minionland Minecraft. It's another episode, and as you can see, we're back in the vault in the animal level, and I've made a few changes because I didn't account for the fact that this server has certain rules. At one point, the server had about 200 users at a time on, and it's died down significantly, but the rules have never changed. So there's only a certain amount of animals allowed in a chunk. Now, as you can see, I had to move this batch of mushrooms out further to this side of the room. And that's because if I had them right next to each other with this one, well, one of the groups would completely despawn. That also makes it a little touchy for when I have to, well, breed. I gotta make sure that I kill off this group right away. And if I want to get the most out of it, then I gotta use my looting sword and actually pay attention and stand here and swipe when that occurs. Otherwise, I can just leave it on, well, I guess the lava mode. I don't know if that'll actually fall through. You know what? I may have to check on that. But we don't want to burn the babies. That's the thing. So we have to actually pay attention when they grow up. So, yeah, it's one of those deals, guys. This will be an interesting room to use, nonetheless. But today we are actually moving on to the next room, and that's going to be our sheep room. We're going to close this up because we don't want them escaping just yet. And as you can see, I started to place things down where we could put some things. And I may try to actually put two different farms in here. I think we will be able to put two in here and have it operate nicely. And we should be able to have a nice collection. Now, this is within one chunk, and this is within another chunk, and they have to be diagonal from each other. Otherwise, if they're right next to each other, they will despawn. So this room is a little bit easier than the cow room, and we may have, well, we may have something nice here. So we're going to actually jump into our creative world, something I've never done before. I have ported over my creative world from my laptop over to my PC. And we're going to dive into that to check out two potential designs I want to use. Right, so this is my creative world. This is actually the first time you guys are seeing this. Now, really, this is actually a port from what I have on my laptop. Usually when I'm on my laptop, I mess around in creative, and now I just ported that to my actual PC. So you're actually seeing this for the first time now. Now, it's not that expansive. There's a few things here and there. And, yeah, as you can see, it is pretty empty, to be honest with you. There are a few things that I've been testing as far as redstone, you know, just designs and stuff. You can see some of the baseball field here that I was kind of planning for Diamond City. And, yeah. But let's dive into what we're actually here for. I did start off with something like this, which is okay, and I'm actually going to get the shears out because we're going to need that just to demonstrate a few things. There we go, get rid of that. So you can see we have a simple, very small sheep breeder, and they're all basically in the center, and we hit this button, the water displays, and it causes them to jump up and down. Now we can come up here, we can start snipping, you can hear it snip. Now the problem with this, however, is doesn't snip all that well. So I created pockets here and there. You can kind of get some of the extra ones as I fall. But if you look closely, there's still some in there that haven't been snipped. The wool blocks float as well, so we turn it off. They all sink, but the wool block is still there, so that requires us to kind of get close, or as close as possible, to collect it. Now if we go to the collection chest, and hopefully, I don't think I emptied it, but okay, we did empty it, and there's only 8. That's fine. And this is good for compact areas, except I don't like the fact that some of them in there don't get snipped. So this may be for low quantity sheep, but you can see that they do regenerate with the grass blocks around it. That grass block in the center that they're standing on regenerates at a fair speed, I guess. So this is a possibility, but it would be very low efficiency, which I kind of don't want. So I jumped onto something like this, where we had the sheep rotate around some parts of grass, and we used water to keep or help push the sheep along. And it also helped to, you know, I don't know if it actually helps the regeneration of grass, but I thought it may. So turning it on, we get a little bit of noise, and immediately you can see that we got the pistons pushing the sheep along with the water, which is pushing the sheep into the pistons. And of course you can just come here. Now, did I empty this? If it's empty, come here and you can snip one by one as the sheep go across. And you got hoppers down below to collect. I missed one. There we go. I don't know if that one, yeah, I probably did. So this one pushes it, nice circle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I missed one. And let's see here. Let me turn that off now. But the idea here is that the sheep rotate, they feed off the grass, and they get pushed by the water and the pistons, and they should regenerate, and we get a decent amount. So now we have, let's get rid of this stuff. It's basically probably 13 pieces, so it's not too bad because most of these were white. I should have emptied that beforehand, but it's okay. Or was it? I think it was. We collected a decent amount then. I have no idea anymore. Anyways, this design is a good possibility. It's a little compact. The redstone's more exposed on this one, but you can easily hide this stuff. So I went on to another design, and I think that's this one. Now this one is probably one of my more favorites. It's a 6x6. So that means the sheep have a little bit more grass to bite onto. And if you look carefully in the center there, let's see if we can get a good shot. In the center there, that's kind of hard to tell. But down here, if you peek through the sheep, there is some water. So just in case, that actually helps. Now you can see the sheep have been feeding off the grass. That's what happens when they stand still. That's not ideal, really. But if you come down here, everything's pretty compact. You have the circuit is right below, so you do have to go 3 blocks down from the base level. You have a hopper clock down here, which is feeding the whole entire system. It loops around, and it doesn't get involved with the collection. Alright, so we can see now that all the sheep have gone around at least once. And if we look at our chest here, we've got a fair amount. Not bad, right? Not bad. So if that was all white wool, that would be 18, 20, 21 pieces of wool. Not bad. I like that. We can turn that off, and they will keep feeding. You can see the grass regenerates quite nicely. It's not bad at all. So I do like this one quite a bit. This one is pretty good. And our final design is right here. It is a kind of sheep conveyor belt system. I forget who actually designed this. I've seen various reiterations of this, and I have even improved it just now, because a lot of the sheep would pile up right here. As you can see, they wouldn't move forward, and you can see this one right here is trying to move back, just as this one, because they're pushing off the water block and all these sheep. This will actually happen when it's running too, just because they don't want to go forward, they want to move back for whatever reason. So I added this piston circuit, which will help them along the way. And this one does have a nice generation of grass, which will keep them fed. And the water also that is here and down below will also aid with that, I think, if it does help. I'm not entirely sure, but it does help along, as well as the lights. So this one has actually been redesigned. It has, instead of a clipper feed, it just has the dropper elevator that fills up the chest with wool for your collection. It is a safe place where you can come and just kind of hang out when you turn this on. The switch is right down here. So if we turn this on, now this one is a bit noisy. I gotta find a way of maybe quieting this one down. You can see we get enclosed into the safe area, and we can just stand here and clip as the sheep get pushed back and forth, and they get shot up to the upper level to get fed. They come back, hopefully well grown. Now you can see we've already reached our limit. There should be about 12 sheep in here. But if this was an AFK farm, you can see that they do come back grown. You can clip them back. So they will come back fed. If we pop up here, you can see that we've already clipped them all. And if we look at our chest here, we've got 7. Not too bad. Not too bad, but I do like this one for the intricacy that this design has. So that's kind of cool. Now, I don't know what the interval level is for sheep to be fed and stuff. I do want to check what is making that noise, though, because maybe we can quiet it down a little bit more. Alright, so we've checked out 2 designs, and I think we're going to try to fit in the long one here. It's going to be interesting because we will have to dig into the ground quite a ways. And then we're going to place the other one right here. If I'm correct, oops, this here is going to be our water channel. And everything surrounding that, oh no, actually everything surrounding that is going to be grass. So let's actually place down our grass blocks so that we know where things are going right away. This has to be all grass, right? Am I mapping this out correctly? This here and that there. That means this gets to get taken away, just like that. We mapped out a little bit bigger than we were supposed to. All right, cool. That's fine. No worries. That means I can actually dig this out, and we're going to put this here because we're going to put water on top of that. All right, cool. Now I just need to get some water. Put that there. Nice. And if I put this in the opposite corner, perfect. And I can fill these back up and use those later. I'm going to dig this out a little bit further all the way around because I'm actually going to place down more grass blocks. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we want the grass blocks that are, you know, where the sheep are going to walk on to actually regrow at a decent pace. Just like that. Nice. And with that, we can actually start to place down our glass. So this center walkway, or the center area, has to get covered. There we go. And then we're actually going to cover up this as well. And I'm going to keep that glass for the time being. There we go. So that is a 6 by 6. Okay, we have the right dimension, so we're looking pretty good right now. Now I need to pick out a spot. And I think I'm going to pick out this spot. Now, I think what I'm going to do is actually put glass down here. We're going to put sea lanterns up on top, which I don't have on me at the moment. And then we're actually going to place down, well, let's dig out the spots for our pistons. So this is going to be a piston. This will be a piston. This will be a piston. And then this will be a piston. Now, this should work. It doesn't matter which direction. But we're going to dig out this area. That's fine. I should have used my shovel. So those are going to be hoppers. That means that that is also going to be a hopper. And this is going to be our chest. Oops. We don't want that going too far, so let's control this. Stone and stone. Alright, that's fine. And this area around it is going to be, well, white hardened clay. Because we're going to keep going with our scientific theme here. Alright, so with that in place, let's go get some more supplies. Yeah. And keep going on. By the way, guys, how are you liking this shader? Are the nights a little brighter? Can you guys see better when it's nighttime and I'm not holding a torch? That's kind of the feedback I'm looking for. If you guys have been realizing that there is an improvement, please let me know, because that's something I really want to know so I can keep an eye on. All right, we've arrived. Finally, we have our regular pistons. So what we're gonna do. You know what, guys? I don't know, but I fear that might be a mistake. I'm going to put this way like we had it in our testing world, just because if it does push, for whatever reason, if it does push a floaty block it doesn't push it this way. I want it to push this way across the hoppers. So let's just fix that. Have this rotate the opposite direction because we want this to not have any issues, so we don't have to dig back in here. There we go. And we'll leave that one open so I can walk in and out for the time being. Perfect. All right, so the last thing to do, well, I shouldn't be saying that this soon, right? I'm going to actually dig out this trench right now. There we go, and we don't want that to happen, so we're going to move these over and place that back. All right, cool. Okay, so this border is going to be our lab border. It's going to signify where one research area is. But I need to dig down further, so I'm going to get rid of that one for the time being, and that one, and that one. Put that back. And we're going to dig down even further. Say hi to our minions. There we go. And we actually have to dig down one more. And I'm going to actually dig out one more to be underneath these hoppers. There we go. For the time being, I'm just going to fill that in. All right, so we have the dirt above us, and then we have, well, a level down. So we're down here. We need to power this one up. So we're going to place one there. We need to power up that one, and we need to power up this one, and the last one right there. Nice. Now I need to get out of here. All right, so if we dive back down here, we are going to place torch there, torch there, torch there. All right. If you could hear, all of the pistons got activated, so that's a good thing to know. I'm actually going to decorate this a bit more. All right, and we're gonna place that here. Very good. Very good. All right, this is the front. So what I want to do now is, let's see, we're gonna have a switch here. I'm going to change that out for stone. This will be the base. We don't care about it being white like the rest of the redstone areas. So fill this in with stone. There we go. Nice and clean all around. Yep, looks good. All right, hoppers. So we're going to do a hopper timer. So place one here, one going into that hopper. Remove this hopper, and then replace it going back into that hopper. So if we place a piece of redstone in one of the hoppers, it's ticking away. It's a clock now. But we cannot have, well, we cannot have clocks on the server. So what's going to happen here is we're going to place down a redstone comparator. Ooh, what's going on here? Nope. Can I jump up here? Nope. No. All right, so we're going to have to do the little jumpy tricky here. There we go. And as you can see, that's the visual of the timer. So we're going to put the repeat. No. We're going to put a repeater coming out of that into that block. And you can see now it's actually activating the piston. Good sign, right? Very good sign. So now we are actually going to draw power out. Draw power out. Use our redstone to loop it this way. Gotcha. There we go. So we got to power this block, then draw out from that block to power this one. So we're going to continue that pattern just like that. And I'm actually going to replace that with stone to avoid any future issues in case we do have to build underneath this room. Boom. All right. Got a lot of noise going on, guys. A lot of noise going on. There we go, and then some redstone. Ooh, that was weird. That was weird. You guys see that? That was weird. So let's place down some stone. We're gonna... Nope. Pick that up. There we go. And we're going to fill that in. Now we're gonna grab our lever, see if this works. No. No. That means that we have to place our block there with our redstone there. Okay, so that's off now. And now that's back on. Off. If we open our chest, take back that piece of glass. Alright, cool. Alright, seems to be working just great. So that means I can actually now, well, close off the rest of this. And I'm going to actually do this. Sea lanterns. We're going to place these up on top here. And then I may just do the white wool here. I mean, not wool, the white hardened clay. We're going to do that around the border so it's not overly bright. We don't want it to be burning our eyes. And then I'm just going to use the stone slabs all the way around. Just like this. Alright, awesome. And you know what, guys? I'm actually going to replace this. I'm going to replace these on the corners here with the orange hardened clay. Just because I want it to have that scientifical look. I don't know what that's going to really look like. Where is it? Here. Alright, awesome. Hopefully this will look nice. Again, it's not going to be as cool because we don't want to... I just don't want to cover that for some odd reason. I feel like if I do, it's going to ruin the growth of the grass. So that's as best as we're probably going to get it with this. The only thing I need to do now is actually, well, fill it with sheep. There we go. Come on. There we go. Nice. So that's one. And maybe what I'll do is just breed. There we go. There we go. Nice. Come on in. One by one. There we go. Oh my god, this is awesome. Look at them. They're just lining up to get in. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so we're going to cover this up now before they jump back out. Nice. All right. And then we can just start to shift them around a bit. And actually, while they're here, we can get our leashes back. All right. So we finished our build here. If I turn it on, it is quite noisy. And as you can see, they don't properly rotate all the way. But that's because this thing was designed to have 12 sheep, I think, at the moment. And I don't know why that occurs. That's a very strange thing. Maybe it's server lag or something. Maybe I should set this slower. Maybe if I... Let's see if can I jump down here. Alright, so these baby sheep, they're going to take quite a bit to grow. It takes about 20 minutes for baby sheep to mature into a full-grown sheep. So what I'm going to do to actually see them a little bit easier is actually start to, well, shear the adults. And hopefully that gives me a little bit more visibility of the babies. I guess the problem is they're not really fully rotating because, well, it's not really pushing the babies along. As you can see, this one's almost getting its head cut off. Alright, we have 3 here. Maybe if I hold that. No, that's a bad idea, because then we're going to have way more than we need in there. Alright. Okay, so what I did was actually put one block in the hopper clock and replaced our repeater that was coming out of that from the comparator to 4 clicks. That gives us our nice little slow rotation, and for that, it gives us ample enough time to both clip and the sheep to feed off the grass blocks. I think if it's moving quickly, it's just not giving them enough time to feed. So we're going to keep it at 4 clicks for the time being and see what happens. If we need to speed it up, we always can. It's not an issue. Alright guys, you can see that this is starting to circulate a little bit better. 2 of the sheep have grown. We're still waiting on the last 2 baby sheep here. They should be growing any minute now, but I think we've reached our limit for today. So I'm going to call it a night. And in the next episode, we're going to work on the other side of the room. We're going to create the other sheep machine. And I don't know what to do, guys. Should we really build it, or should we maybe build something that'll actually create cooked mutton as well? I have the little small cooker at Abernathy Farm. I could always do like a small experimental thing out here as well to further expand, you know, the sheep farms. But I think the bigger farm would actually be nice just to kind of have and look at, even if we don't use it. I think it would be nice. We want more wool production, right? We'll see what we can do. Regardless, we have 12 sheep in here. They haven't despawned yet, so it's looking good. We just need those last 2 baby sheep to grow. And as you can see, our wool supply is growing steadily. I've been standing here for quite a bit of time, not shearing, just messing around with some of the undergrounds. And you can see we added the corners here because I've been testing to see if the wool blocks or the clay blocks will actually deteriorate the grass, and it doesn't look like it actually does. So we're actually going to just keep that there because it gives it a better look. And as soon as those 2 baby sheep grow, I'm going to actually replace this slab with a iron trapdoor just to have more visibility. So it's looking quite nice. Also, I changed out the water blocks. They don't seem to have any influence on the grass at all. So I changed the center water blocks to grass to help the center aisles or the walkways for the sheep, that grass, grow even faster. So that's the idea. I guess the more grass blocks, the more, or the faster it grows. So let's keep to that level of thinking. Anyways guys, that's all the time I have for today. Next episode we may jump onto this, or we may actually build the rabbit breeder, which is kind of what I want to do. So give me an idea, guys. Should we build this, or should we build some type of mutton cooker? I'll let you guys decide. In the meantime, I'm gonna get to work on the rabbit room, and depending on your replies, we'll see what we build here. So anyways guys, this is the wool blender, as I'm calling it. It should start to produce wool nicely. We'll check it out in the next episodes to see how it goes after these sheep grow, because it's taking quite a bit of time for these baby sheep to grow up. And yeah guys, until next time, I'll catch you all in the next episodes of Minionland Minecraft. See y'all later.